Don't take rejection as redirection. Growing up, my parents had me enrolled in these 2 tutoring centers, where each session would span about 2 hours at a time, so I would finish my long, hard day of work at 8 p.m. every single day. I remember begging my mom and my dad to just unenroll me from these courses. But of course, they said no, because like every other 12-year-old, I sucked at math. One day, I guess I was finally convincing enough that they finally agreed to take me out of these courses. But because of it, my exam results suffered, and I almost didn't end up getting into any secondary school I applied to. That is, except for one. From then on, to call me an overachiever would be an understatement of the century. Award after award, scholarship after scholarship, people would come up to me and they would say, "Shav, I'd expect no less from you." Of course, she got the best on the test. "Shav, you are a natural at this." But I'll let you in on a secret. I'm no natural, and I have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. So here I am today, giving you a talk about leadership. And when I won all these awards, I thought, wow, I finally achieved something. I finally gained some form of success. Right? But I was wrong. I could never fully celebrate my achievements because to me, it always felt like an obligation to achieve them in the first place. So raise your hand if you ever felt this way, where you achieve extraordinary feats just to end up feeling like you didn't deserve it. So here's my story on how leadership led me to understanding what true success really is. Nobody tells you, the moment you turn 18, it is now your full-time job to parent yourself. Let's be honest, the immigrant children in here have probably been doing it for longer. Either way, growing up, I faced immense pressure. Not only because of societal expectations around me, but because I grew up in an immigrant family. Either way, I grew up with bullying from all sides, teachers included. So it was natural that I had this misconception that I would never be seen for my true potential. I still remember very vividly to this day when my elementary school teacher sat across from my mother and I and said, "She won't amount to anything. I have no hope for her." I was crushed, because that is what society around me led me to believe. So I looked my mom in the eyes and I said, "I am going to make you proud." And now, years later, I'm a published artist, former publications production director, student at a globally renowned university, and helping youth achieve their dreams. It all comes down to this one thing, whether it be parenting yourself to eventually finding jobs in the field. Leadership. Not the leadership you learn about in education or in the workplace. Self-leadership. Now, self-leadership is grounded in the psychology of mindset and action, and its correlation with long-term success. It's about becoming self-aware, believing and efficient in your own abilities. In fact, the Hong Kong Shaveni University Sociology Department found that 80% of high schoolers in Hong Kong don't know what they want to do with their life. And it's a common trend that I've noticed with the youth that I mentor, where there's this seemingly lack of belief in their own potential. But it's not just youth, it's people of all ages, all around the world, struggling with this idea of what success is and how to achieve it. Studies done on organizational behavior actually reveal these two techniques two techniques, verbalization and visualization. Verbalization is changing the way you speak to yourself, using proactive measures and positive reaffirmation to guide yourself toward your goal. Visualization, on the other hand, is imagining yourself in that space of true success and doing what that successful version of you would do now. And by the end of this speech, you will be one step closer to using self-leadership in your life. Now, we've talked a lot about what self-leadership is, but we haven't really touched on what it could look like. So here's an unconventional example. Sports psychology. Now, in sports psychology, 12 gymnasts were studied for the birth of the early 1976 US Olympic team. And the study found that the athletes who used these two techniques actually made it onto the Olympic team, while the rest of their peers did not. In more ways than one, the sheer implications of leadership on challenging the boundaries of success as we know it are extraordinary. So you can begin by finding your motivations in the long run. Rather than what you like, think about why you like it. What fills you with passion? Excitement. Is it art? Music? Find work that feels like play. The fact is, if it were easy, everyone would do it. As much as I wish someone had held my hand, guiding me from my teenage years all the way up to adulthood, this isn't a race people stick around with you for. But the best part, this is your race. You control the pace, and you are the architect of your own success. So here are some up-and-coming examples of youth pushing these boundaries of success. I'd like to introduce my friends Hannah, Lares, and Ian. Now, Hannah is a content creator based in America, and she began her journey in the August of 2024. But growing up, she began to freak out. To follow your heart or your brain, which decision is the correct one? It's something we all struggle with. But now, with over 50,000 followers and millions of views, she told me she used intrinsic motivation from her heart to keep going. My friend Lares, on the other hand, began their artistic journey at just 6 years old in their local church art academy in Venezuela. Now, having immigrated to the United States, Lares is studying at the Shaveni College of Art and Design. And amidst their fear of their artistic journey, they told me, if I don't believe in myself, who will? Exactly. Take the risk, fail, succeed. Either way, you will learn. Well, last but not least, my friend Ian actually grew up here in Hong Kong, but then moved to South Korea, where she unfortunately faced harsh societal beauty standards, which built the platform for her advocacy. Now, she has modeled for brands such as Dior, Nike, and Vogue, and she aims to give Asian representation in the modeling world. I couldn't help but ask her, what was your key to success? And her words might sound familiar. Don't take rejection as redirection. Regarding your dreams, there is more value in fighting for what truly captivates you than simply moving on. But understand that success is a two-sided coin, and there are times when you just have to move on. It's up to you to evaluate when is the best time for you, and when you should truly fight for what you want. Now, remember how I said in the beginning of this speech that you would be one step closer to using self-leadership in your life? Well, the moment is now. So I'd like you to do something for me. I'd like you to close your eyes, and on the count of one, say as loud as you can, I can do it. But when you close your eyes, imagine yourself in that space of success as that successful person. It can be anything, more kind, understanding, accomplished, anything. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. I can do it. It's one step ahead through leadership. I am so proud of you. Thank you.